Oh good. That's not every day I hear that. Here we go, we're gonna start the day. So I was thinking I'd talk a little bit about schedules, using like a space like this to serve 12 people a 3-course meal. Good morning, my name's Emily and I'm a flight attendant, a pretty senior flight attendant. I've been with my company for 10 years almost. Today I'm just furiously trying to get to my commute, like every flight attendant vlog that I ever start. Usually I'm like commuting, and so I've got to try and get on this flight, and I have not had good luck lately and I'm just really worried. And today I've really cut myself a little short and I've had to park clear out here in Timbuktu. And since I don't live in base, I have to pay for all my own parking. So that can get really expensive. And just I was doing the math on the way over here. I don't even know if I'm working for money today. Like, gonna all go to parking and babysitting and food in the airport, but whatever. That's life. But I do love it. It is my second most defining factor in my life besides my family. I just love my job and I just really think it's great, and so I'm always here for flight attendants, people who want to be flight attendants. I'm always, that's kind of like a side benefit to the challenge that, or to the family channel we have with my husband, a chef, and just cooking as a family and all the fun things, just trying to keep a visual of our lives. This is just like a side benefit. I didn't know so many people needed help or wanted to see what it's like to be a flight attendant. So this is great. I'm happy you're here. The challenge of being a flight attendant for me right now is really just leaving my family. It's so hard and it's so challenging. I love the job, like, especially, I mean, when I worked all the time, and like, I should have been a flight attendant vlogger back in the day when I like worked like 6 days a week, was in a different city every night. Yeah, now it's just hard to leave your family and all that you established and gotten to with your life, and then you have to leave it. But it is fun to go have a little adventure, so I'm excited to go see some new places. I get to do some layovers. I'm gonna be in Omaha. Ooh, I don't get in until very, very late tonight. But what about you? Where are you in your flight attendant journey? Are you trying to get a job as a flight attendant? Which companies are you interviewing for? Leave a comment below. Oh my gosh, I just totally washed out. So that other people can know too. Guys, I am so nervous that I'm gonna miss this flight. Like, that there won't be room for me. Because even when I'm going to work, I have to, you know, just play the cards. Hope there's a seat for me. And this airline, I couldn't really tell. So I'm like, a window would be great. Oh, I'm so glad there's room.
Oh yeah, plenty of room today.
Oh good. That's not every day I hear that. So I'm on the flight. Oh my gosh. It's been too long and too much stress lately trying to get myself to work, so I'm actually going to work. I like don't even know what to do with myself. I'm gonna sleep. So here I am. I've got a couple hours to get checked in, do some stuff for my manual, and eat something. So lots of choices.
Highest priority at PDX.
As a flight attendant, I have to keep up on my manual, so it's a few hours of work a month. So that's what I'm doing right now before I go. A lot of trips I pick up, I'm out of Los Angeles, so here we go. We're gonna start the day. First flight, we're going to Bozeman, Montana, out of Portland. It's really loud out here. So great first flight, no complaints. We're here in Bozeman, Montana. Aw, just Skyping with the kids. They're doing great. They're having a special lunch with Papa Chef, but Louis is just having a hard time, and every time he sees me, he just cries. And so he like misses me the most of all my kids, like ever. He like Oh, he loves his mama. It's pretty sweet and pretty heartbreaking for me. Okay, we're going back to Portland and then we'll have a huge break, so get some stuff done. So I just have a little break before we go back on the plane, and then we're gonna go to our overnight. So I'm gonna stay over in Omaha. I have no idea what to do there, but I'm flying again there in a couple weeks. So if anybody knows anything to do while I'm there, please let me know. So I was thinking I'd talk a little bit about schedules, because that's always like of interest even to people who don't want to be flight attendants. They always ask me, what's your route and what do you do? And somebody just asked me on YouTube whether I only do locals or whether I ever overnight. So most people, most flight attendants do not have a set schedule unless they're very senior and they can work, they can like really pick out their schedule. I mean, and I'm at 10 years and I might be able to do that if I was willing to work 3 to 4 days trips still. I'm sure I could hold those, like whatever I wanted. But then the schedules change from month to month depending on the scheduling. So I would say that there's very few flight attendants that like, yeah, I'm this loop all the time, like you'll see me next time. That's pretty rare from my experience and from what I know about others. Now back in the day, and when you first start, you usually do the longer trips. You usually do like 4 days for us, for our company, or 3 overnights, you know, and you are with the same crew a lot of the times, or it can change. That's the thing, is that it can change. You can have different people every night, but back in the day when I flew a lot like that, it was the same crew every night, and so that was kind of fun. You got to really know these people by the end of the trip, and so that was my first few years for sure. Now though, as a mom, I really try and make it the least amount of time away from my family. That is my top priority. As you know, if you're part of this channel, this is a family channel, this is what I do, this is my life, this is our life. So that's where I want to be. I love flying and I love being out here. It rejuvenates me just to see other people and hear their stories and just take their energy and be able to share smiles and just be myself, my happy self, and share it with others and make their day a little easier. Really makes me feel good. But so back to that, that's where I'm always trying to be. Each month it really changes, and you can get your schedule, and then I pretty much get rid of a lot of the schedule that I'm given, which means all of it's on, like, we don't, back in the day it used to come out in like little paper booklets, I guess, and you had all your times and all your flights, and that's how you knew when you were flying and stuff. And oh my gosh, I can't even imagine not having the flexibility that we have today, which is drop, swap, post, like, and when you're still a reserve, you have to have somebody approve it. And yes, it has to be approved by our people, but it's not like your boss or anybody. It's all based on numbers, whether there's enough numbers, enough people to cover it, enough this, that, and the other. And then if you still can't work it, or you still don't want to work it, then a lot of times I'll post it for money. And it seems crazy to pay not to work. It is pretty crazy. But you can pick up other trips, it's for the flexibility, and that's a lot of times over holidays or things where you technically can't hold the holiday off, but somebody else is willing to work it if you incentivize, if you make it worth their time. So, whew, looking a little washed out, but here in the Portland airport, just had some disappointing Vietnamese food. Oh, it's always pain. I thought it would be good, but it wasn't. So, gonna get on my flight, go to Omaha. If you have any more schedules or questions about schedules, please let me know. I'll answer in another video. Hope that helps. I showed up a little early so I could just show you, because I can't really film while passengers are on board. So I was like, oh, so I can just show them. This is kind of how it would be. Hi guys, how you doing? Oh, welcome aboard. Yeah. Cool outfit.
Bonsoir. C'est quoi? So tonight we have some asparagus risotto. Delicious. Delicioso. Delicieux. Lulu loves it. Huh, Lulu? It's good? It's a little bit hot, maybe?
Can I see the fish?
With scallops. We do a video with risotto one day.
No fish!
I will show you how to make a nice risotto with whatever you want, asparagus.
Delicious. Tastes like fish. Tastes like fish.
And Lulu?
Only a 1 a.m. finish time. Over to Bozeman, Utah. Bozeman, Utah. Bozeman, Montana. It's a big terminal. That was a long flight. Whew. Oh my gosh. It's freezing and raining. O-M-G. Oh. Cannot find where the lights are in here. There we go. Oh, the best feeling in the world is to get into your little suite. Oh my gosh, seriously guys, that was like a really long flight. Again, it's no light. That was a seriously long flight because we had some issues. I don't know if I can tell you about. No, but especially this airline has all these meals. Like the meal is like literally a 3-course meal, and so I have to use the oven in the back and the oven up in the front, and like I cannot even explain to you how I'm like using like a space like this to serve 12 people a 3-course meal and be a bartender, a waitress, and a busser, and like help her in the back, and like it's a lot of work. I was like, oh my gosh. And I usually love first class because I love to just do it just so and make it like the whole experience of food and nanny, and I just was failing. People were done with their nuts before they got their cocktails, and it's not a good thing. I like them to be hand in hand when I have it done to me. Or anyways, folks, I am going to bed to relax, to soak up this beautiful room and this bed and this just aloneness. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll stay with me and stay with our channel. Sayonara.